Today I find myself in Nürnberg and I'm here to talk to soprano Chloë Morgan. Chloë is one of over 400 singers that took part in Audition Oracle's inaugural competition By Voice Alone. In this competition, everyone sang behind a screen and the panel had nothing other than their voices to go on. And we're going to talk to Chloë and ask her about her experiences in the competition and find out what has happened next for her. Chloë, what inspired you to take part in the competition By Voice Alone?
The feeling of not being judged by anything other than my voice was so revolutionary and so unheard of, and it's something that really spoke to me personally. You know, I've been to music college, but I haven't followed a direct route into opera at all, and I found it quite challenging to be heard by opera companies or competitions because of my age or because of my experience, and because I didn't have X, Y and Z on my CV, it was hard to be taken seriously. So your competition came at this breaking point in my life and my career where I was like, well, maybe I should find something else if opera isn't going to be what I'm going to do. And then boom, all of a sudden I see all these adverts for this competition, which is going to be behind a screen, no one knows who you are, what your CV is, and it's just about your voice. And yeah, I jumped at the chance.
Fantastic. And we're really glad you did, because out of those 420 something singers, you were one of only 28 selected to come and sing to a panel of 28 industry specialists, and that included all of the heads of casting of all the major UK opera companies. How was it walking out into that room?
It was terrifying, but in a good way. It was exciting because I would never have had the opportunity to meet those people. You know, when you apply to companies to have an audition, you never get to speak to those people or meet those people, and there they were, without knowing who I was, listening to me sing. It was incredible, and I mean, the terrifying vibes sort of kicked in with the adrenaline, and then it was just a gig. It was just singing to a group of people that were there to listen to me, which in a sense it was still an audition, that there were loads of people behind a desk with pens, but it was a performance, and that's what I thrive off, I guess.
And from there you made it to our final at King's Place, and that was a packed audience.
Yeah.
And yes, tell us about that.
Oh, that was the scariest part, because the media presence and the sort of hype about the competition, by the time the final arrived, people knew what it was, and people had seen how many people had done it, and to be one of those few singers, then it was a competition. Then it was a sort of, we know this is what a competition is. You stand and sit in the toilet and get nervous, and then you go on, you sing your arias, and then you sit in another room and wait. But still, it was the voice alone vibe, and we all the finalists kind of looked after each other, and there was a real nice atmosphere, and it was still new and it was still groundbreaking, and we were all on the same playing field because none of us has ever done this before. And you very clearly said, you know, by the time we got to the final, we'd all won, and we'd all had the chance to sing to all those people in the semi-final, and of course there were people who were recognised from the semi-final. So it wasn't even really about the final or winning, it was just the platform that you gave us, which we would never have had. The final was just a cherry on top, a very spicy, scary cherry.
That's wonderful. And from that you went on to win our Emerging Artist Prize, about which I was very delighted. Tell us, after that, what happened for you?
Well, it's a crazy world, and the prize was incredible, and so someone I was at music college with years ago saw some videos and recognised it, and
what were those videos of?
It was me singing in the semi-final. The Handel that I sang from Theodora.
Oh yes, that was beautiful.
And she forwarded my details on to Osvikani at Grange Park Opera, who then invited me to come and audition for her. And then I was offered the role of Nonetta in their production of Falstaff in last year.
That's amazing. And who was in that production with you?
Oh my gosh. So Bryn Terfel was singing Falstaff. the incredible Natalia Romanu was singing.
I love her voice.
I know, I love her.
Brintu.
Brintu. Luis Gomez was Mo Fenton. Janice Kelly was Meg. And David Stout was Ford. It was just...
How did that feel, walking into your first day at rehearsals for that job?
Surreal. I mean, I've probably talked about imposter syndrome a lot, but there I was, Little Miss Emerging Artist, in a room full of not only great singers but also industry heavyweights and also amazing people.
Yes.
But because they were all so lovely, it didn't take long for me to not feel like the sort of novice. And yeah, it was surreal. It was surreal.
And what's next for you? What roles have you got coming up now?
Well, we've just started rehearsals for Peter Grimes, which I'm singing First Niece. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. And then they've announced their next season. I'm going to be an ensemble member in Nürnberg for 2 years.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you very much.
That's incredible news.
Yeah, it's weird, and I'm singing Ninetta again.
Wonderful. And do you know any of your other roles yet, or you're still?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you allowed to tell us, or is this all under wraps
I
yet?
think I am now.
Okay, great.
I'm singing the Keeper of the Temple in Frau ohne Schatten. And then Ninetta.